All right, this is our first practical task video for our definition queries. And again, this is going to be a fairly quick one. We're going to do this first in the ArcGIS Desktop environment, that is ArcMAP. And what we need to do is we have actually three tasks, three different types of definition queries. The first one is going to be to select all segments, all stream segments that are named rivers. In other words, we're going to try to find all those things, Mississippi River, Missouri River, Ohio River, from the table. Then we're going to also use a definition query based on the states, the continental states, and we want to select some specific regions, the west northwest, the west north central subregion, the west south central subregion, the east north central subregion, east south central subregion, and the mid Atlantic subregion. Lastly, we're going to use a definition query to select dams that were identified as their construction date before 1911. And once we do all these, we're going to convert them into new feature classes, and then we're going to do a screen capture. The screen capture at the end is what I want you to have. All right, so let's get at it. Okay, we are now in our ArcMap environment, and please make sure that you've downloaded the data set. And right now, you only need to add 3 sets of data, and that's pretty much what we'll be working with throughout these exercises. The dams, the stream system, continental, and then the states continental. And I have the streams continental on first because that's what we're going to do our first definition query of. And in this case, again, what we're going to be doing is right-clicking. We're going to go to our properties. And in this case, I have it in here already, but I'm going to delete that out. What I am interested in this case, is to make sure that you'll notice there are a whole lot of streams here, but some of them are not rivers. They're creeks, they're streams, they're all sorts of things other than rivers. So what I'm going to do in my query builder is I'm going to use that like command. And so in this case, I'm going to take the name, so notice a SQL, select from the streams continental feature class where, I got to read that as a sentence, where name is like, and again, like is kind of a general kind of sort of thing. And in this case, I'm going to say is like, and then single quotation mark, and then my wildcard, and remember that means as many characters as I want, and then I'm going to type river. Now, it is important this is case sensitive, so if there was something there that had lowercase r, it wouldn't be returned. But again, that's all I need. I'm going to hit OK and apply. And now all I have, and I'm going to just real quick open up my attribute table, I've now gotten rid of everything that doesn't have in the name field river. Pecos River, Yellowstone River, again, doesn't matter what their lengths are. All right, now the next one we wanted to get a subset of our states continental. Now I'm going to turn this off for just a moment so that we can look at our states. And you notice that I've color-coded them by their subregion. I could certainly use an interactive selection tool to do this, but again, I'm going to use the definition query. Again, in this case, I'm going to go right-click, Properties, and again, get rid of this one, and I'm going to do my query builder. And in this case, I want subregion. And in this case, because if I look at my get unique values here, you'll notice that I want all of them that are centrals. I want west north central, west south central, east north central, east south central, or the mid-Atlantic. Well, they're all going to have that CEN. So I can say again, like, and in this case, I'm going to go, again, space, single quotation mark. I'm going to go wildcard, and then I'm going to go CEN. Now, I'm going to now use a connector, and I'm going to say or where subregion is equal to mid-Atlantic. Now, please note that I didn't use and because there aren't any scenarios where they are both central and mid-Atlantic. Or means give me this or that. It has to meet one of the criteria. So I'm going to hit OK and apply. And again, now we have streams done. Now we've got to do our dams. And I'm going to show you the dams. There's quite a few of them. And this is kind of an interesting challenge in terms of a query because when we do this one, the first thing that we want to say is that we want our dams that were built before 1911. So I'm going to choose years completed. And what I would use, again, and it's very important always to get unique values to kind of see what your data looks like. So even though these are years, they're being treated as text because we can see these two single quotation marks. And so what I want my years completed to be is less than, and remember we have 1911. Okay, that's not hard. That part would say, but you'll notice up here I also have ones that appear to be empty. That is, I have a quotation mark, single quotation mark, and then nothing, and then another one. Well, that means it's an empty field. It's not a null, but it's an empty field. And so in this case, I have to say and, in this case, not goes first, and then we say years completed. Again, I have to say this is my field and my field again, and not years completed is equal to an empty cell. Now, once I've done this, so what I'm saying is anything before 1911 and not empty. Okay, so now I'm going to hit OK. Remember that not goes first, and apply, and we got what we need. All right, so we've now done our 3 queries. The last piece that I ask you to do is for any time that you've done a definition query, these are only true within the data frame and in the map. We've not fundamentally altered the data. It's temporary. If you want to make a definition query permanent, we're going to click on the the feature class, and now we're going to export the data. And we're going to do this in this case. What I'd like you to do it to is your results and export it as dams pre-1911. Click Save. I've already done it once, so I'm going to say yes. And now we have a new data set that includes only those. Now you'll notice that when I go to that one and I open up its definition query, there is no definition query. That's all that's in that. So that's how we make them permanent. So do that for all 3 data sets, do a screen capture, and we'll move on to the next part of this.